Welcome back. We have the first week of Eternity of Pain, and the first challenger is gonna be this Crossbones. Now, if you're trying to do a solo, a very easy, simple, straightforward solo on this guy, I want to say that Omega Sentinel is gonna be your best option. She is by far the easiest one to do this with. Why? Well, as you can see, we could actually hit him and also hit his block, and it doesn't matter because she will not be ticking down from the bleed or from that poison. In fact, her abilities let you start healing whenever she has a bleed or poison on her. So for these really long fights, like he has like close to 700,000 health, and especially with the degen that you might receive, because sometimes he goes passive, sometimes he saves his SP1 for right when it like switches over so that you can't like hit him also, and you start ticking down from that degen. But you do not have to worry about that because your regen will actually kick in. Now, the other thing that makes this fight really easy for her is that Crossbones actually has a 90% chance to shrug off debuffs, and these debuffs that get shrugged off turn into fury buffs. Now, Crossbones has a node that if he does not have 3 furies or more, or 3 buffs or more, he will not take damage. And Omega Sentinel actually places 1 debuff of it doesn't matter, her modes don't matter, but she places 1 debuff with her second medium. Now Crossbones will almost immediately shrug this off, always keeping those furies up, and then if you bait out those special ones, he'll gain 1 more fury, so he will always be ticking for damage from the degen, from the specials, from the hits, and he's always taking damage. So that's a really good thing to have. Now also, the cool thing about Omega Sentinel is that you can actually save your SP3, or you actually don't even need to throw any SP1 or SP2. You could actually save for that SP3 because you will actually place 6 incinerate debuffs on the opponent if they don't have any other debuffs on them. Now, why is this so good is because Crossbones most of the time will shrug off 1 of these debuffs, not all 5 of them. That leaves you with 5 incinerates, permanent, almost permanent, because when you end your combo with a light ending hit, you actually pause these debuffs. So that's an extra source of just damage over time that Crossbones will be taking, and that's perfect. That just makes the fight so much easier. So not only do we have sustainability from Omega Sentinel, we also have passive damage where you don't even have to touch them, and then also the bleed and poison actually help us regen that damage that we might have taken from that degeneration effect, that when he becomes too passive. And then obviously as his health goes lower and lower, that degen damage just doesn't matter at that point because you're taking for like 20s and it won't hurt you. Now, the one thing I would recommend, and it took me a lot of tries, is get this fight down. Go in, try it out with your Omega Sentinel. Don't waste any revives, no nothing, because you want to learn her spacing. That way you're able to intercept them with those medium attacks, medium ending hits. I don't think you could intercept with light hits. Her hitbox is too short, and he will almost all the time hit you. But you do want to get those medium intercepts down, that would really help you. Also, you want to get the sense of timing. There's been a lot of people complaining that he's passive, all this stuff, but if you actually get a hang of that degen damage, you can actually time it out so that if he throws his special right before, or things like that, where you could always transfer that degen back to him, and that way you're not hurting. It took me a lot of tries, but finally I was able to get the timing correctly. I was able to find out that you could pause these incernate debuffs. You want to save up for that SP3, and honestly, this made the fight so much easier. And as you can see, like my health dropped down quite a bit in this fight, but we just keep coming back, and we keep coming back. So honestly, she is the best for soloing. It's so easy, and unlike Omega Red, which you could do it, I think he might be easier, except that you can't. The problem with Omega Sentinel is if you throw an SP3, you gain your health back, which is sustainability, but you lose out on that passive degen damage. So you're trading something off for something else, and sometimes that's not worth it. But Omega Sentinel, you never have to trade off anything. You always have your damage, and you will always beat. You'll make this fight so much faster. Plus, Omega Red on this, I did try it before Omega Sentinel. I actually died from bleed, which shocked me, because I was like, I thought he like reduced to almost nothing, right? And it wasn't until I looked up some YouTube videos that I saw you actually need to have 1 point in the coagulate mastery, and that cost you one of those 500 unit cores. Definitely, I don't know if that's worth it, but Omega Sentinel does all that without even having to spend units. So I just think this is so much easier. Honestly, I would highly recommend, if you have an Omega Sentinel user, it could be any rarity, but obviously a 5-star, maybe even a 6-star, will cause more damage faster. But my 5-star rank 5 definitely got the job done. Also, one thing to remember is that she is a villain champion, so if you are able to do the fight with her, you will definitely get one of those points for those weekly rewards things. And then if you want to do something else with an XL champ, I'm only Thronebreaker, so these are the only two options the only two objectives I have. But if you want to one-shot her or one-shot him super easy while completing one of these objectives, Omega Sentinel is your girl. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, please leave a like, and more Contest of Champions videos coming out soon, especially with this Eternity of Pain. I'm gonna see which champions I feel is better for these fights. And well, if you like that kind of content, well, why not subscribe, right? Alright, well, thanks guys, and I'll see you guys next time.